fellas, I'm going to talk a little bit about Arnold Classic over in Spain. A little bit of controversy. Big Ramy looks like he had that show in his pocket, but he ended up taking second place. Dexter Jackson actually took first, as most of you probably know. I think Roden came in fourth, and William Bonac really improved, came in third. A lot of people saying Big Ramy got robbed. It's kind of making its rounds across the interwebs here. Ramy looked big, full, looked awesome. Dexter, I think there was a little bit of politics to this, though, because I think you're at the Arnold Classic for one thing. Arnold's been talking about how bodybuilders need to be more aesthetic, not have the larger waists, maybe not try for the ultimate mass. And that's Dexter Jackson personified. I mean, that's what he does. But yeah, it looks like, from looking at some of the pics on the internet, taking a lot of guys for their word that know bodybuilding. Yeah, Big Ramy got shafted. I mean, you cannot compare these guys in size. I mean, Big Ramy kind of dwarfs them, obviously. So the Blade, relies on aesthetics to win shows, and that's what Arnold's looking for. I don't think this is a surprise, really, that Dexter won this show. I think there's some politics at work, unfortunately. A lot of times when Arnold's involved in something, there's always politics. I mean, the Olympias, from years past, 1980, probably 81 even, when Franco won it. Arnold's involved in these things, so, he's a powerful man. I'm not saying he had anything to do with this. It doesn't really matter. But Ramy looks spectacular from what I hear. To me, Ramy, is what bodybuilding is about, getting as massive as you can, because he still has a pleasing shape, I mean, for a guy his size. You really can't deny that at this point. I mean, his aesthetics are not that horrible. They're not on the level with Dexter's, but, it's just one of those things. Ramy's time will come, though. I think he's probably starting to figure this thing out. He's working with Chris Aceto. So it's only uphill from here. He's still pretty young. Hasn't been lifting very long. Man, he's going to be a freak for years to come. One of the knocks on him, though, this year was his arm size. I mean, his thighs are so dominant. I mean, look at those thighs. That's insane. That, everything else kind of takes a back seat a little bit. I think he needs to bring up his arms. His right arm seems to look larger than his left. But, man, the guy's just a monster regardless. It's hard to bring all those body parts up to snuff when, you got thighs like that. I don't know. It's just one of those things. But to me, he personifies what bodybuilding is, all-out mass monster. And still keeping a pleasing shape. Yes, you need a pleasing shape, obviously. But, all things considered, this is bodybuilding. So, these guys got to sit around. They got to eat constantly, and that develops a protruding gut. But Ramy's kind of figured this out. He's kind of been getting this under control. I mean, look at this pic right here. It's not the best quality, but, man, you can just see. I mean, you can't even see through his, when he hits that pose, the gap between his arms and his lats is pretty minimal. It's a pretty incredible pose. I know he's got his arms higher than Dex does, but Dex might have just started to hit this pose too. But, man, yeah. But anyway, yeah, Ramy came in second, He's probably just fine with that. I mean, who knows? I mean, hopefully. Dexter probably knows he pulled one out of his ass on this one, but it is what it is. Give Dexter props. I mean, this guy's, he's as old as dirt, too. I mean, so, Dex lacks calves, in my opinion. He's got some weaknesses, but he's still a classy-looking bodybuilder, so.